Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Y'all already know what time it is. I'm bringing y'all a tutorial on how to trigger all 8 of the different types of layups in 2K24. We're not going to waste any time. We're going to get right into it. All I do ask that you consider dropping a like, sub to the channel if you're new, because who else is putting you on like this? So today we got 8 different types of layups. I'll just list them off for you guys really quick. We're going regulars, scoop layups, euro step layups, floaters, cradle layups, hop step layups, spin layups, and reverse layups. Obviously, we're not going to be touching on any of the different kinds of like unique layups, or different layup packages you get. Like, for example, Ja gets the 360 layup, Curry gets the fake behind the back layup. We're not going to touch on any of those today. I'll make separate videos for each of those things individually in the future. But right now, we're just going to be touching on the basic 8 different types of layups that all layup packages can get. So we're not going to waste any time. We're going in the order that I listed those things off. First things first, we'll start with the regular layups. So obviously this should go without saying. We'll do this in like 10 seconds. You just drive towards the basket, let go of turbo, hold X, and depending on your package, you'll get a regular layup, and it'll look different. Like I said, depending on your package. You can also drive towards the basket and just push your R stick up. So I mean, sometimes it's RNG, like depending on what hand the ball is in, and your layup package, you might get some different ones, but it's just going to be a basic layup. So that one should be pretty simple for y'all. That's about as easy as it gets. Now I made a video on these, so we won't spend too long on these either. But the quick scoop layups, these are super effective for getting your layups up fast. Getting them up before the help defense can go up for a block. Especially if you don't have a dunk on your build. I have a dunk on both of my builds, but I do have a no layup build coming. But as per usual, I'm going to be upgrading the build, testing it out myself before I deliver it to y'all. So, anyways, for the quick scoop layups, all you're going to do is you're going to want to drive towards the basket, push your your right stick either left or right, depending on which hand the ball is in or which hand you want to go up with. So if you want to drive towards the basket, go up with your left hand, say. You're just going to push your left stick towards the basket, and then you're going to push your R stick directly left if you want to go with your left hand. If you want to go with your right hand, you're going to go directly right. I just did the left, so we'll go right here, directly right, and that's going to give us that quick scoop layup. Those are going to look a little bit different depending on your package as well, as is the same thing with most of these. So that is what it is. Now, the thing that's going to change very greatly, more than probably anything, depending on your package, is your Euro step layup package, or is the Euro step layup, excuse me. So the Euro is actually pretty simple as well. So what we're going to do is we're just going to drive towards the basket, let go turbo, double tap X, and on the second, after you double tap it, then you're just going to hold X to trigger the layup. So, show y'all again. Boom, just like that. Now, definitely got to drop me a like because I'm going to show you all this right here. What you can do is after you double tap X, you can hold turbo again, because to trigger the Euro step, you got to let go of turbo. What you're going to want to do is after you double tap X, when you go to press X to shoot it, like to hold it, you hold turbo again. That will give you a Euro step dunk. I'll do it right here for y'all. Boom, there y'all go. So you definitely got to drop me a like for that one right there. So that's the regular scoop and Euro so far. Now we'll touch on the floater. Floater, really simple. All you're going to want to do for the floater, I'll show you a right stick and a extra square version. So first we'll do the right stick. That's what I personally do. It's more consistent and easier to trigger in my opinion. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to drive towards the basket. After you get past about this point right here, or probably top of the key about, and then you're just going to want to extend that, depending on where you're running from. Once you get past there, all you're going to do is you're going to make sure you're letting go of turbo, push your left stick towards the basket, and then just pull straight down your R stick to time the floater. So here we'll do that. Boom, just like that. pretty simple. So you're just going to want to make sure you're letting go of turbo. For all of these, you're letting go of turbo so far. There is a couple where you're going to hold turbo. And obviously for the Euro step, as well as the hop step, which we'll touch on here after we get to the cradle. So now for the extra square version, all you're going to do is pretty much the same thing, only you're just going to pull down on your left stick. Excuse me. There we go. Oh, and I'm so terrible at doing it. That's what I'm talking about. It's so much less consistent when you do it with your left stick. So yeah, I mean, you can do it with the left stick, but I would just recommend doing it with the right. It's so much more consistent. There we go. Because you gotta time it up a lot better with your left stick, as y'all can see. What you basically do is really fast. You gotta switch from going forward towards the basket, then simultaneously letting go of turbo down on the left stick, and then pushing X to time it. It's gonna be easier to time because obviously most of you guys are gonna be used to holding the extra square, but much more consistent and smoother when you trigger with the R stick. So with that being said, we'll go to the cradle layup. Now this one you can't even find in the control setting. They don't tell you how to do this. So yeah, even more reason to sub to the channel because I'm putting you on the secret sauce like this. So what we're gonna do here is, I'll do this a couple times, and it can be inconsistent, and depending on what layup package you have on, um, yeah, like I said, it can be inconsistent. So what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna drive towards the basket, and depending on the ball hand, so if the ball is in your left hand, you're gonna want to go diagonal up on the left stick and diagonal down on the right stick towards the ball hand. So if we're going up the left here, which I'll show you in just 1 second, let me just reiterate that really quick. We're going diagonal up, diagonal down. If you don't go diagonal enough, if you go like too straight up, it'll give you a Euro step. So I might do that. We might mess that up here, but I'll show you guys. So let go of turbo. I did not trigger it. You got to do them at like the same time. So hold up here. There we go. So I would really recommend making sure you have the left stick pointing in the right direction first. Obviously, that's going to be a more natural thing to do because you're driving towards the basket and then you're going for the layup. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Before you do the R stick, you want to make sure the left stick is pointing diagonal. You can do them at the same time, but for consistency purposes, I would just recommend doing the left stick first, and I'll show you guys the right hand as well. One more thing before I show you guys the right hand. Please don't come interrupt my tutorial, bro. Anyways, one more thing before I show you guys the right hand. These layups are really good if you have like the bulldozer badge or anything like that. Or like you're stronger, bigger than the defender you have on you. This is what's going to give you those layups that basically like muscle them out of the way, kind of give you that stiff arm animation. I would show you guys some in-game clips of that, but this build that I have right now, I don't have any clips of it on because obviously I got like a 40 strength. So yeah, I'm not really muscling people out of the way. I will show you guys probably on the other app that starts with a T, a tutorial on how to do like the Euro step stiff arm layups, because you can get that on any build without strength. I've been doing that a ton over there. You guys have been asking how to do that, so I'll show you guys that over there, so stay tuned for that. But anyways, for the other side of the cradle, since we're going right hand, obviously it's just going to be vice versa. We're going diagonal up on the left towards the right, and then diagonal down towards the right with the right stick. So here we go. And like I said, I did like a little Euro right there because I didn't go diagonal enough, so let me try that again. There we go. Like I said, sometimes if you're not going diagonal enough, it'll give you that Euro step, because for the Euros you can also go like, oh, what am I doing? You got to do it towards the off ball hand, but you can also do this for Euros. You can go just straight towards the basket and then diagonal down towards the off ball hand. So keep that in mind as well. Now for the hop step layup, this is going to be really simple. This is another one you can dunk out of. So what you're going to want to do, go downhill, tap X, give you that hop, and then after you've tapped it once, then you just hold it again to actually shoot it. Tapping it the first time will give you the hop, and you just push your left stick in the direction that you want to hop. So I'll show you guys again. See, I hopped clear across the paint right there, and all I did was just tapped X while holding my left stick in the direction that I wanted to go, and then after I tapped it, I just held X again to shoot. If you don't do that, it'll pump fake, so I'll show you guys that right here. And I just traveled, so hold on 1 second. It's really crucial to sprint beforehand. Obviously you're gonna want to let go of turbo, but see, just pump fake because I didn't hold it again, and then you can still go up out of it, but if you don't hold X right away, it will pump fake. So keep that in mind. Now for the spin layups, these are going to be very similar to the Euros, only you're just going to hold turbo. So you're just going to drive towards the basket. You're going to hold turbo and double tap X. Make sure you're driving towards the basket, or you're going to get something like this, where it just spins off for a jumper. So the spin once again, you're going to double tap it to activate the spin, and then you're just going to like press it a third time but hold it to actually shoot. So it's one of those things like the hop step. After you double tap it, if you don't press it again, it's going to pump fake. So here y'all go, and I just did exactly what I told you guys not to do. So don't do what I just did right there. You want to get close enough to the basket, and towards momentum towards the basket, just like that. There you go. You're just double tapping X or square if you're on PlayStation. So it should be simple enough. And these ones are not as consistent, but you can also get dunks out of those as well, just like that. Basically what you're going to want to do is, for these, since you're already holding turbo and double tapping X to activate the spin, what you're going to want to do is just let go of turbo essentially. And sometimes it'll give it to you without letting go of turbo, but I find it's more consistent if you let go of turbo and then re-press turbo when you press X for the third time. So here we'll do this. See, you can hold it sometimes, and it'll usually give it to you, but I just find it's a little bit more consistent if you recognize, oh, you open up that spin, let go of it and push it down really quick again, and hold X for that third time to go up the shot. So now for our final layup, and maybe the worst one on this list because it's so much better to do these out of dunk animations, but we have the reverse layup. So what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to drive baseline. If we're coming from the right corner, we're going to push our R stick towards the right. So here we go like this. Let go of turbos, obviously. And there you go. So if you hold turbo, it's going to give you a reverse dunk a lot of the time. So then if you're coming out of the left corner, same thing. You're just going to push it towards the left this time. So if you're coming out of the left corner, if you're driving from the left, you're going to push the R stick straight left. And if you're coming from the right corner, you're going to push the R stick straight right. Obviously, you can only trigger these on the baseline. So now the one type of layup we did not cover today, because I already have a more detailed video on this, is the jelly layups, the switch hand layups, double clutch, whatever you want to call it. So I will link the video for that in the description. I just didn't want to touch on it, and add more time to this video, waste anybody's time when I already have a totally separate video for it where I go into more detail. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap things up for the video. We covered 8 different types of layup. Once again, the regular scoop layup, Euro, floater, cradle, hop step, spin, and reverse layups. The reverse layups, I'll try to show you guys really quick here. The reverse layups, you guys didn't get to see. Sometimes they be missing. When you have the meter on, they're much more consistent, especially if you time them right. But if you don't have the meter on, be prepared to miss some of them. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap things up. 8 different types of layups. Some of them you couldn't even find in the control settings or, the controls tab or whatever. So do me a favor, drop a like, sub to the channel if you're new. Doesn't cost you a cent. Helps the bro out a ton. God bless. I love y'all so much. We will catch you in the next one.